Oh my gosh, video games.
Hey.
I know we were really excited about it last week. I want to start off by saying I don't like those Call of Duty games.
Right.
And so if you're looking for shooter games,
It's not your
keep
one.
going. Like this is not for you, but cozy games is kind of my alley.
Yeah, well, we should talk about how the fact that there's not a lot of girls that play video games, or
Yeah.
not a lot of people know that girls play video games, I guess.
Not even just that, but also people don't realize how many different varieties of games there are, because I think when you say, oh, I game, like people's first thought is like Call of Duty.
Fortnite, yeah, Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So it's one of the two. They're both.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and so I don't know about you guys, but I hate being chased. And so I'm like, I don't want to be hunted.
I like watching people play those games sometimes, but I don't want to play. It's too much adrenaline for me.
Just like Grand Theft Auto, I love watching people play. I played through the GTA 5 all the way through, but I can't do it again. And I can't understand the online version, so I don't know if I'm dumb. I just can't get into the online stuff.
I think the online is hard because when you're shooting, it's not a helped target.
Yeah.
Like, it's all by you. It's all automatic.
And not to mention the sirens that are constantly going and then getting chased by the police.
Ew,
I hate that. That makes me so scared.
I am an adrenaline junkie, so I think it's just like, it's just my fix of adrenaline.
I hate it. I'm like, I think I'm having a heart attack. Like, my heart is beating out of my chest right now. And so maybe we'll start off by saying a few of like the more intense games, and then we can move into cozy games. How about that, since we kind of already jumped into that?
Yeah.
So GTA, I know, is a really popular one. You like to play that one.
I like to play it, and I've played Red Dead Redemption 2. That was a lot of fun.
I like
a lot of yeehaw.
I like the idea that you can ride a horse.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I have played that one all the way through, but there are so many things that I avoid doing in games because I'm like, oh, it's too scary.
Yeah, right?
Too scary.
Too scary. I hate games that you're just... when I watch scary movies, like I don't even watch scary movies, but when I do watch something that's a little bit on the scarier side, I'm one to close my eyes. And so that's the thing about video games. You can't just close your eyes and expect it to be over. Like, you have to like work through that and like fight through that. And so I think that's my biggest like issue with it.
It's too funny. It's too funny.
I can't close my eyes and just forget about it. Like,
it seems like you need more of it so you can work through it.
Yeah, something like that.
It's like therapy.
Yeah, so that's why Halloween, I guess, isn't my super favorite, because everything's so scary. I don't like scary things.
You gotta work through it. We can get through it.
Deep breaths.
We can do it.
But any other like shooting games?
No, it wasn't a shooting game that I played, but it's called Man of Medan. Have I ever talked to you about this?
No.
It's a video game that you control what happens in the stories. You can play it several times, but it's scary every time because it's like adrenaline for sure. So it's not like a shooting game, but it makes you make decisions through a scary movie.
I really do like those kind of games too. I played As Dusk Falls.
Well, I was gonna say I should play the Man of Medan, and you should watch me play it because it's actually 2-player. Okay.
But As Dusk Falls is like that too, where it's like actually where this family, like the parents are fighting and whatever, and there's a daughter. Well, they end up they're on a road trip, and then they stop at this hotel, and then these like redneck troublesome locals end up coming and trying to like rob the hotel. And so there's just a bunch of stuff going on, and you have to like make decisions like, do I tackle him with a gun or do I listen, you know?
Yes,
and so it like really changes the story that way too.
Yes.
So
those are fun.
That one's really good. I do like those a lot. But another one that I really liked, it's kind of like Smash Bros. That's a good one too, but Brawlhalla.
Yes, our favorite.
Yeah, so that one's on Game Pass too. I really do like that.
Brawlhalla's great because it's free.
Yeah.
So if you like Smash Bros, but you want a free game, Brawlhalla's great.
Along with that one and Gang Beasts, those are both kind of fighting ones.
Right.
And those are fun for if you have girls over or guys over, whatever.
Right.
Gang Beast is really funny because it's like you're a bunch of drunk noodles is the best way I can describe it.
Yes.
Where you're just like, you have to fight, but like it's like a lot of, you know, like I don't know, like their movements are very slow,
right,
and like very
noodly.
Yeah, so
it's like a slap fight.
Yeah, so it's really fun because it's not necessarily. I mean, it's about skill a little bit, but I don't know. It's just like you headbutt a lot, like the whole body, like head first. And so that's really funny.
That's so funny. I watched you play that. That one's good.
And so it's hard to get used to at first, but that one's really fun too. I really like Gang Beasts.
It's almost like their art, like you take their punch was like
it's like
this.
yeah,
and they
literally
kind of do that to each other.
Yeah, they just kind of throw their limbs around. And so that one's really funny. But one thing that I really do like is, this one's kind of fighting, I guess, too, but it's not even serious whatsoever. But Lego games, I've got you into Lego games.
We love Lego games.
So the fun thing about Lego games is it kind of fits everybody's niche, I guess, like in the sense of there's Harry Potter. So if you're a Harry Potter fan, they have Harry Potter Lego. They have Marvel if you're into like superheroes. We just finished the Marvel superhero one. That one was, well, didn't finish it, but played all the games. We can go through and do free play and all that stuff. So that's fun too. It just feels like the Lego games that you can never be done with it.
Right. There's so much to do.
There's so much to do. And then there's also like Pirates of the Caribbean. I didn't actually know that until I was researching it.
I didn't know that.
Hobbit, Jurassic World.
Oh, really?
If you're into dinosaurs, Lord of the Rings, I know is really popular.
They make those in Legos.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I know. So if you're looking for something that's to fill your time, but it's not intense, it's like more or less just, it's kind of like a puzzle game, I would maybe call it. Because, I mean, there's a lot of things, even we get stuck sometimes, and we're like, what are we supposed to be doing?
Yeah, right.
Know?
No, they're super good. They're super entertaining. It's almost like GTA PG.
That's what I said too.
PGA rated PG.
Yeah, like especially with the superheroes one, you can like run people over, you can drive around, and it's just really funny. So it's like a PG GTA.
Yeah,
so that one's really fun. I really enjoyed that one.
That was a great one. Those are great.
Stardew Valley.
Yes, that one's cool.
I love Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley.
Mm-hmm. So that one I love because I'm such a community person, I've talked about, but it's really about building relationships with the other NPCs. And so you can do so many different things. So you start off like you get your grandparents' farm, and so you can cut up wood and you can build things. You can well, you don't really build things necessarily. I guess you more like there's different people in town, like a carpenter. There's
so it's like you can harvest things, and it's almost
you have animals.
It's not like a Farmville. Remember that on Facebook? Farmville.
Yeah, I do. It kind of is a little bit.
Like because things take time to grow, and then this game has different seasons and all of that.
And so you have all the 4 seasons, and you have different seeds that you plant at different seasons, and then also you can get pigs and sheep and duck. You can even get a dinosaur. You can like go mining and you can find like dinosaur eggs.
That's crazy.
And so even like an ostrich you can have. So there's just a lot of different things that go into it. And then when you build relationships with people in the town, they'll like send you gifts in the mail and things like that too. Like there's somebody that sends you hay for your animals, so that's really nice too.
This kind of reminds me of like a Sims game.
Yeah, because you can get married to there's like a select few of like single like people in the game that you can choose to get married to, and then you can have kids with them. And then the funniest thing about it is if you want to start the game over, you don't have to start the whole thing over. If you just want to start your family over, there's like this part where you can turn your children into doves.
Oh, really?
And they'll fly away, and you can like separate from your partner, and then you can go marry somebody else and have a new set of kids. So.
I wish that was real life. I would have tried that by now. That's crazy.
So yeah, it's just a really fun game. There's just so much to it. And so I played that like all summer. Like that was a really fun one for me.
A good time filler.
It was a good time filler. But yeah, so that's like one that I've really recommended to everyone for a cozy game. I really like that one. But another cozy game for cat lovers out there. This is the one that is only available on Xbox and Switch, I believe. It's not on PlayStation, but Little Kitty Big City.
Hey,
I showed you that one, didn't I?
I hope so, because I don't remember.
You run around as a cat.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You can knock things off, and you get to like pounce on birds and.
Oh my gosh, I follow this guy on Instagram, and what he does is this virtual reality headset, and he's a cat in VR. And
I've seen that.
It's so funny.
And, like just
grandma.
Like, and just like knocking shit over.
Yeah.
It's so and just like the
funny. Sorry to change the subject,
no,
but I just remember that.
It's really funny. I love watching.
It was so funny.
Watching people play games is so fun too.
Right.
So I don't know.
I'm not a stranger to watching Twitch. Have you ever watched Twitch?
I don't think so.
No, I'm gonna have to show you the Twitch. Twitch is great because it'll show people live streaming. Yeah, so I'm a girl that likes Twitch too. I don't look like it, but it's really great just for like watching people play silly games.
Right. I have so many cozy games. I don't even know how we're gonna get through all this list. But Arcade Paradise.
Okay.
Have you heard of that one?
I think I remember you playing this too.
It's so fun because you start off, your dad buys you a laundromat, and so the first part of the game, you're really just doing like you're taking loads of laundry, you're putting them in the washer, you're drying them, you're transferring them, and then you're also like cleaning up garbage and wrappers and pieces of gum everywhere. So like you're cleaning up this laundromat, and then when you first start, there's like one or two like arcade games in the back of the laundromat, and so over time, like you end up getting rid of the laundromat and turning it into a full-time arcade.
Oh, that's so cool.
And so it's really fun to be able to go online and buy different arcade games, and you get to, it's really cool because there's a lot more detail in it than you think. You can go into each game and you can set how much you pay for it, and it shows you all the statistics and everything on it, and so that's really cool too.
That's really cool.
So that's a cozy game too.
I love that.
You're just transferring laundry and
I love it. I don't want to do my own laundry. I just want to transfer this virtual laundry.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
That one's a fun one. A short hike is another fun one. That one is like your little, I don't know if it's a penguin or a bird, but you're really just trying to get to the top of a mountain, and you got to collect bird feathers in order to be able to climb better.
Oh, cute.
And so that one, you're just literally just
it's so cute,
hopping around and trying to get to the top of a mountain.
I love these games because they're really not that, they don't sound stressful at all.
No, they literally, you're just hopping around. You're just floating in the wind and
living the dream.
Yeah, so a short hike is a good one. Otherwise, I love this one so much. Little Gator Game.
Cute. What's this one?
So basically, your older sister and you, like this little gator and his older sister, used to play together all the time and used to use their imagination and fight off all these alien creatures. And older sister ends up being very busy. She doesn't want to play with him anymore. And so now he's trying to convince sister to play. So he like ends up building this huge fort, and you have to go around and like, they're cardboard aliens, and so they're literally just like little pegs of cardboard that look like aliens, and you just like you get to buy different weapons. And when I say weapons, it's like a rock and a slingshot, or like a garbage lid you can use to like slide down things. And so there's just a lot of little things that are cute about it, and it's like a super cute cartoon thing. So
it's so cute.
That one
sounds really like adorable children's game. Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
And you try. Well, a lot of things I play are children games, just because they're cozy. They're
young
cozy
adult
games.
Children games.
They could be played by children. But unpacking is another really cozy game.
Okay.
It's kind of as it is. You just get boxes and you unpack them.
Oh, funny.
And so you just find places to put everything, in your kitchen, bathroom, and so.
Oh, funny.
That one's kind of fun if you like to organize, if you like if you just want something to do for your time.
I love this.
Same with like a little to the left.
You have a lot of games.
I do. I have a whole list here.
I know.
A little to the left is another fun one too. That one is a puzzle game where you just have to figure out, sometimes it's like, they just give you a bunch of things and then you have to figure out what it is that you have to do. So you can get a book with, they're all different sizes, and you can like organize them like ascending, descending, whatever. And so it's just a lot of little puzzles that you have to figure out.
Oh, I love that.
But that one's kind of fun because some of the levels, you'll do something and then like a cat paw will swipe it and mess it up. So you have to like do something else with it.
Oh, no wonder you hate cats. Ruining your games.
I do, yeah.
Oh my gosh, these are so funny.
Yeah, if you're looking for something a little bit more challenging, I know Botany Manor, I think is what you call it.
Oh.
Botany Manor. I'll post pictures of these too so that you can kind of see. But it's kind of a fun one. It's where you are somebody who takes care of, like, you live in like this guest house and you have to like basically grow plants, but they're really beautiful, cool plants. I don't know if they're real or not. I should look into that. But you have to like do all these special things to grow these plants. Like, they're not ones you just put soil and water and then they grow. They're ones that you have to, I'm trying to think of some you have to put in to a house where there's like a specific wood burning and then it'll grow. Like, there's just a lot of steps to growing it.
Right.
And so it's kind of a challenging one. I had to look up quite a bit of it just because I'm like, I don't even know. There's a lot of clues in it that you have to remember. And so that one's a little bit more challenging, but that one's pretty. And
Did you ever hear of like Nancy Drew games?
No,
Nancy
actually.
Drew was a little detective. It was a detective game on the computer.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it would, I can't remember what kind of mysteries it was, but like my sister and my friend Chantal, we used to play those growing up. So if you ever hear about a Nancy Drew quote, like it's from a game reference.
I love that. I didn't know that actually. Another one is House Flipper. I told you
I
about that one,
can
didn't I?
imagine how this goes.
I loved it. So house flippers, you just like go into these nasty, crusty houses, and then you just not reorganize, but you remodel it, and you can like reinstall toilets, and you do like AC units. And
Hell
so
yeah.
when I was playing it, I was always joking with people. I'm like, if you ever need like a toilet installed, like call me up. I've done plenty. One game that was super cute that I loved was Door. I think it's called Door Downya. It's like a watercolor game. Like it's really cute. You basically are going back to your grandma's house that passed away. You stay the summer with her, and then you go and relive all these memories and reminisce on that. So that one's a really cute game too. There are two games that I had that I loved. That if you're in a relationship or not, like it's just a good two-person game. It Takes Two.
Yep, that
I
one's a
think
great
I
one.
made you play that one
Yep,
with
we
me.
did.
Basically, parents are fighting, and they basically they were gonna get a divorce, and the daughter like finds this love book and goes, "Please keep my parents together." And she has like these two dolls, like one's like a clay model, one's I don't even know. They're just like little homemade dolls, basically.
Yes.
And these parents get sucked into these dolls' bodies, and then there's a bunch of different puzzles and stuff that you have to do, and you have to like get back home to your bodies and to your daughter. And
that
so
one's cute.
you can't do anything in the game without the other person. So
Yeah.
everything it takes two.
It
so
takes two.
it's basically the whole game of them trying to find their way back to each other and then find their love again for each other. So that one's kind of cute. One that's a little bit, it's not as lighthearted. It's definitely, I don't know. There's just like some times where they want it to be eerie and kind of spooky, but Unravel 2 is like that, but you are connected to on it like by a string. So there's two characters, they're like yarn basically, these little yarn things, but you're connected with a string. So it's kind of really fun because you have to, sometimes you're like, hey, I'm over here, get over here. And like you have to really communicate and work together.
That's cool.
It's really hard.
I love these games that you play.
Yeah, they are they're so fun. They're so cute.
I used to play Roller Coaster Tycoon back in the day.
Yes.
And I loved it. I remember just my forehead glued to the computer screen trying to play these games, and I was addicted.
I will never get the screams out of my head. Like the roller coaster screams. You know what I mean? Like it was always going off. When you were playing the game, it was always
and I remember and I remember like the vomit you have to clean up.
Oh, gross.
I remember that. I
forgot about that.
Right? You have to hire janitors, things like that.
Yeah, I love games that are not serious. I love games that are just like time fillers, especially like I said in the wintertime when we're stuck inside and you're like, what do I do now? You know? There was one that you were like a truck almost, like
the space truck?
No.
Oh. You remember that one?
I did. No, this was one I played growing up.
Okay.
No, there was this one on Game Pass. It was like a space trucker, and I could not figure out the controls. We were just like doing
semi-truck in
spirals
space.
In space.
It was funny.
It was a nightmare. I was like almost sick playing that. I know a lot of people do get that way too. Like
my sister gets motion sickness.
Who want to play video games but can't, and so I feel like that's why Stardew Valley might be a good one because that one's more like pixelated. Yeah. I feel like if that's the right word. Yeah. But like it's pretty. You only move when like the screen only moves when you move. Really, honestly. I mean, unless sometimes there's like leaves falling and stuff. Right. But sure. Yeah. For the most part, that one's a pretty good one. I feel
motion sickness. Yeah, people. It's a real thing.
Right. There was this one I don't know how to pronounce it. I almost didn't bring it up because I didn't know how to pronounce it. It's like a chia.
Oh, the chia.
It's chia. Like T. Chia. Yeah, it's like TCHIA. That one
TCHIA.
That chia. One is not available on Xbox One to install, but you can use game clouding, I think is what it's called. Basically or cloud gaming, and that's basically where you just go onto an online browser server and you can play it on there.
Right.
But that one I was obsessed with for a long time. I loved that one.
That sounds fun.
That one, basically, you are trying to save the world from these yarn people. Like, this guy's like trying to take over, and he's got all these like yarn people
What's
that are
the
trying
name?
to fight.
Oh, this is the Cha.
Yeah.
One.
Yep. And so you basically start them on fire, and they just like disappear. But so they're like easy to fight. That one's not super intense or anything. It's kind of scary when they come running after you, but you kill them. You can kill them soon enough.
This makes me think of a game. I think it's called It's a Big World, and it was this yarn person. Do you ever remember this? It was for PlayStation. It was this yarn person. I cannot. That's gonna bug me. Shit.
No, but
It's a Small Big World or Big Small World. I can't. I'll have to look it up later.
I know. I definitely. There's just so many games that I feel like I remember playing growing up that I just don't remember the name of. I know. I think this was on PlayStation. I played like a SpongeBob one for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever have that game that was a SpongeBob, but like the actual controller was a SpongeBob,
no,
and the nose was like?
But my friend did a controller.
Yeah.
An Atari.
Yeah. Like
those are fun.
I played that one for a while. That one
I remember
was
those.
fun, but
yeah.
I think I might have even had like a VeggieTales game at one point.
For sure.
But
for sure.
Yeah, I feel like my dad growing up, when any video games he did play, I feel were like Madden and like football and stuff, like sports.
Sure.
So I think that was kind of why it wasn't really a game. Well, my mom also didn't let me really play games growing up either.
Sure. Yeah.
I did have a Shrek game. I think it was a PlayStation.
Funny.
And when I was like in 5th grade, I would play that all the time. I loved it.
That's good stuff.
I love Shrek.
I love Shrek.
So
Shrek loves us too. I love Shrek.
There's like a filter on Snapchat I love to use. It's like him like kissing your cheek, and I'm like,
oh, funny. I love Shrek. It just gets better with age. It really does.
Your typical like Mario Kart, that one's always fun.
Yeah. I've not played Mario Kart in a while.
I low-key don't love Mario Kart. I wish I liked it more.
Yes. But I love it. I get tired of it because you race the same tracks over and over again.
Yeah.
But last time I checked, they did have an expansion pack that you can buy.
Shut up.
Yeah, so you can have a new racetrack. So I've not done that yet. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I would have to maybe check that out.
Right.
One thing I do like way more than Mario Kart is Mario Party. It's like a big game board almost, and like you kind of pick where you want to go, but like they have a little section where you can do like baseball.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then there's also a section where you can just play the mini games.
Oh yeah.
There's a section where you can play like 1v1, and then there's a section where you can do teams, and that's kind of my favorite, is to do the teams. Me and my dad like always play teams, and we always go against the computers.
Funny.
And that one's really fun because you're like on a game board.
Yep.
And then you roll the dice, and then like you go that many far, and you have to like collect stars and stuff.
Right, but there's different routes you can take.
Yeah, and you can like stomp on other like
players.
The other players, and like it'll take their coins. And there's just a lot to it, and I love games, period. And so it's really fun to be able to do like that online game board type deal.
Yes,
so.
I know. I'm so thankful for that.
I love
Mario Party. It's great.
Mario Party is probably it's a very good like group thing, you know, because you can do 4 people, up to 4 people. I mean, and
it's really not that hard to play.
No, I mean, everything's basically done for you for the most part.
Exactly.
I mean, it's pretty guided. So
I
feel like I had so many games, and I just shot through those.
We just
Is there any other games that you can think of?
I was like thinking, like talking about like Spyro.
Yeah.
So like my generation, I mean, I'm 29. So like me and my sister, we played Spyro, which was this little purple dragon that you run around collecting eggs and orbs and gems. And I think that the game it's honestly hard to play as an adult too. So I'm surprised I played it as a kid. I was thinking there's this other game called Rayman. No, okay. So, okay,
I feel like
on Brawlhalla,
I was just gonna say
Rayman, the character. So that stems from a game from the 90s. Rayman does.
Okay.
That comes.
I think you did say something about that.
So it was a game that I played growing up. So it's funny to see on Brawlhalla a character that was on there.
That's the one thing I do love about Brawlhalla is they have so many, like they have their original characters, but then they have like skins that you can
add to your
for that character.
right.
And so like they do have SpongeBob, Patrick, and they have they have like Daryl from they have Walking Dead characters on there for skins. I mean they have Bubblegum, Princess Bubblegum.
Yes.
Like they have a lot of cool
Jake the dog and the human.
Yeah, right? And so there's just a lot of really cool things that go into Brawlhalla that you don't really realize. I mean, you can buy like I think it's called Game Pass. I think you can buy that and you can get a bunch of different stuff for your characters. But otherwise, if you just get like the free version too, you still can get stuff for that.
Right. Another game I played a lot growing up was Crash Bandicoot. So that was
I've never heard of any of these games.
I know, yeah. My dad played a lot of these with me. Crash Bandicoot is kind of you're trying to stop them. I don't even know how to even describe it. You run around collecting these like mangoes. Okay. I don't know why mangoes. You collect them like coins. Yeah. And then you can like he spins and he smashes into crates and whatever. I don't even know how to describe it. And then we played Sega growing up. Sega is it's like its own gaming system, a Sega. And that's when you had to blow on the chip things and stick them in. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Blow on the sticks and stick them in.
So games. So on Sega, they used to come with the game chip, like
what is that? Is that the Nintendo?
No, it's a Sega.
A Sega. Is that what they're called?
A Sega. S-E-G-A.
And they have like a super blocky
game thing, and you blow it in there and stick it in. Yes.
Sometimes I had to like. My grandma had one of those.
Yeah, so I had one of those. My dad. So when my parents got married, my dad apparently spent their wedding money on a Sega. So we played a lot of Sega in the house growing up. My mom was super happy. It was a big deal. And so Sonic the Hedgehog, it's almost like Mario. Okay. When you're jumping.
It's just like an obstacle course.
Yeah, an obstacle course. And so Sonic the Hedgehog, it goes faster because he rolls in a ball. So you kind of have to make sure you're jumping through the loops and collecting the rings. And so we played a lot of that growing up. Me and my sister played that a lot. So a lot of these, like, it's crazy to me getting older. Like, a lot of these newer games are just older games in a new version of it. Right. So I appreciate a good old Sega game.
Right. My grandma had, like, a Goofy game. Funny. You know, like, where they had the Goofy game.
No, I was just thinking of something else, though.
But no, I had that we played quite a bit growing up too. So
funny.
That one was really fun.
I also played a lot of Pac-Man.
I hate Pac-Man. It's that chase I was telling you about.
I know, it's scary. It's spooky.
You're like, what do I do? No,
right.
No, I like it. I don't love it. So.
I'll play it. When I'm at an arcade, when we're at the arcade, we'll play. Yeah. Let's talk about how we need more arcade bars. Like,
let's talk about how we just need more places that are not bars. Like I know more hangout places. I think they were talking about somebody opening something soon where like I think distilleries are kind of like that in a way where they have a lot of games out that you can play.
Right.
But I like distilleries for that reason.
Right.
Like you're not gonna see that rowdiness. You're not gonna see the.
We just need more arcades in Sioux Falls in general.
Just more things, more things to do that are not
just
the bar.
Just the bar.
Yeah.
GC, that's the first thing I say is
I wish,
arcade bar.
Big cities have like, what is it, Meow or whatever it is, where it's like basically picture rooms where they have a bunch of really cool stuff that you can take pictures in.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Like a selfie world?
Kind of, yeah. I just don't remember what it's called. I saw it in Colorado, but those are really cool. I wish we had stuff like that.
We used to have a selfie world in the mall.
Really?
We did for 0.2 seconds. We did. Yeah, it's gone. When I lived in Phoenix, they had one there too, but it was closing down.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think they're good for a moment. But damn.
It's like cool to have something to do. Yeah. You know, that's indoors. Especially because in the wintertime, like, don't get me wrong, I love a good dressing up and going sledding, but you can only do that so often. Like I feel like, especially now, I don't have health insurance right now.
I know,
and so that's kind of dangerous, you know. Right. So I don't need to be breaking my arm sledding down the hill. No. Last year I went and I did a very good tumble, and
I feel like I remember this.
Yeah, and I went down with my little sister, and like her boot like came and smoked me in the face. Like we both tumbled together. So it was. I was hurting the next day for sure. Like we're getting to the age where we can't do stuff like that anymore. No. Like that's a 2-day recovery at least.
I know we're getting there. But, I know.
Yeah, there's video games are fun. A few tips I would say maybe wear like blue light glasses. I think have always really helped
Yeah.
me
Do you
too.
feel
I
like
don't
they
know if that
do?
would help with like nausea or anything,
No.
but for headaches, like if I play video games, sometimes I'll get like a headache behind my eyes,
Yeah.
and so blue light glasses really help with that.
Sure.
So I like that. Another thing is definitely putting a timer on. Like you
Yeah.
don't want to be on it. Like I know
Right.
there's been times where if I like, especially when I was like living not on my own, I had a roommate, but we weren't like on talking terms, but even like then I would find myself like for 4 hours I'd be playing and be like look at the time, I'm like,
There you
oh
go.
my god, I need to get the hell
Like,
off
we
of
need to do
this. Like
something
I
else.
need to do something. So
Right.
don't rot away in your bed either, or
No.
like in your couch playing
Don't
games.
tell me what
like,
to do.
don't rot away.
Don't rot away playing video games.
Yeah.
Don't put that shit on us, Ricky Bobby. Don't put that shit on us.
Never.
Don't put that shit on us.
But yeah, well, if you ain't first, you'll last. But
Ain't first or last.
Games are really fun in moderation. I think they're a lot more fun with other people too.
Right.
No, I do really enjoy video games. I think it's like a
And they're
really
great
good
for
pastime. And
I forget about video games sometimes, so here's your reminder that you should go play a video game. It'll make you feel better. It really does.
Especially like these cozy games. Like I don't know. I just think it's a way to relax, especially like when I was teaching, like it was a great outlet that I could wind down after teaching because I just think it was something that I would be so fired up at the end of the day. It was nice to be able to come home and like even Brawlhalla, like get your aggression out in Brawlhalla and just
Right.
fight some people. But I don't know. I just really enjoy doing a game that I'm just get to doing.
You know what? One of the last guys that I've talked to, he like said, well, I don't even own an Xbox or a PlayStation. Like, oh, like, isn't, like, don't you think I'm mature? And I'm sitting here kind of like, no, like, that sucks. It sucks. Like, it's not a flex that you don't have one. Like, I don't care. That. I kind of hate that you don't, actually.
Like, that's so fun to be able to, like, if somebody else that you're talking to has, you know, a gaming console,
Right.
It's really fun to be able to, even when you're not together, to,
Right.
like, I need to get a headset, honestly, to be able to talk to people, but
right.
It's just really fun to be able to connect with people. I know that we tried doing that when you were living in Arizona. Like, we tried connecting on Mario Party to be able to play together, and so I think it's a really great outlet for people who are long distance too. It's just a way that you guys can connect, because if you can't do dates, like you're in different states or whatever,
Right.
do a gaming date. Like you can just, you know, do a little date where you can visit online and play some games together. And
a lot of these games that we talked about are 2-player.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't. For sure. Well, I feel like
a lot of them are.
Quite a bit.
GTA is not.
Okay, so I would say a lot of the cozy games that I did bring up, quite a few of them are only one-player games.
Oh, really? We don't only play kids games, but we do only play kids games.
Yeah. I just, like I said, they're cozy. Somebody recommended Stardew Valley to me, and I became obsessed, and then that's kind of what started my spiraling into cozy games. And so I love Game Pass for that, because, I mean, it is expensive, don't get me wrong, but for me, like, it works really well, because especially a lot of these games are good for a moment. They're not ones that you want to play forever. Right. And so that's why I love Game Pass, because you can just download a game, and if you hated it, if you're not into it, you just uninstall it, and it's like no sweat off my back, you know.
I know, right. There's
no pressure with it, you know. So that's why I do really like Game Pass for that.
Game Pass is the best.
Yeah,
it's worth it. If you're gonna game, get that at least.
Yeah, definitely. If you're one that, like me, anyways, like if you're one that you're pretty content with the games that you have, and you like to really play them to the end, and or play it, like that's what I love about Lego games. Yeah, is because even when you do play them to the end, there's so many things to go back and do again. Right. So
no, those are all great games.
Yeah, I mean, all these games, I don't think any of them really end. Like, obviously, you can get bored with them because, like, I don't know, but yeah, a lot of games. But I think next we're gonna talk about TV shows. So video games are good to do. If you're not into video games, then maybe we can get you into some good Netflix series that are out now, and I think that'll be good too.
I can't wait for next time.
So yeah, comment your favorite video games, and like, comment, share, whatever you need to do.
And subscribe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I always forget that. I'm like so new at this. I don't even know.
We forgot. Just follow. Follow us.
Follow, and yeah, catch us for our next episode.